Hello Virgo, thank you for coming back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber, and if you're new, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like and share or like and subscribe. This is a general reading, so it may aspects of it may apply to you, but it could also apply to somebody that you are associated with at this time, or that you're interacting with at this time. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, then please feel free to cross-watch to my other videos for further insights. So that would be something that you know is affecting you, like for instance your moon or your Venus or your ascendant, or some other aspect. I have shuffled and laid out the cards already. So I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac, so as the cards are appearing in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear for you or this other person at this time. Bottom of the deck, so an influence this time around is the Aries I Am card. So this card is generally about testing your will in some way. So you may have to take leadership in some form, and it's moving forward responsibly and with discipline. So avoid rushing around behavior or quick temper. This is, as I said, an exercise in discipline, moving forward responsibly. You could be involved in sports in some way, and that's having an impact on your life currently. It's also about ideas, having ideas about things, and getting started. So you may be wanting to get started on certain things in your life at this time. But it really is also about very much the first house, which is a sense of self, yourself, and how you are forming, forming into this a new person, or how you are developing your character, and so on. Right, in the first house we have Yod Destiny. So this is quite a stressful card to be having in your first house, but it's very purposeful. It is all about finding your special purpose or your destiny. So you're in the process of that. Things that occur now during this time are going to lay foundations for that. So it's a bit of a rocky path. You may not have guidance or support from others, which is appropriate at this time, because you're just going to have to follow your own trust. Trusting that you're on the right path, that things are going to work out as they're supposed to. It's a form of pioneering. You'll be forced to look inward, to your inner self, and to navigate your own path. In other words, find your own truth about what it is and what you're looking for. So this first house is very much about yourself, so that yourself is always your physical body, your vitality, your life force. It's also what you project to others, how you come across to others. So it's your characteristics, your personality. It's all your self-oriented interests, whether it's a physical routine that you're going through, or perhaps it's sporting or some other aspect. But it's your daily outlook and how you move through the world, and your personal independence, and so on. So all of the first house, everything to do with the self, is aspected in the first house. So as I said, with this card coming in, you're searching for that. You're searching for your purpose and your destiny. You're kind of forming that now. It is a little bit of a stressful period. You may have to develop patience, and some sacrifices may be required along the way, but you're going to have to be very adaptable at this time. But you really are finding your own path. So you really are doing this kind of on your own. There'll be no input or guidance from others. You've really got to dig deep to find this in yourself. It's a path of trust, and consulting your own inner self, your own inner GPS, your own inner knowing, which will eventually lead to success. You may just be feeling a little bit different from others at this time. It could be circumstantial. It could be people around you are just different from you, or you have different interests or a different outlook on life. And that's fine, because that forces you to go inward as well, again, to look at your own self, and to develop your own character. You may be wanting to work alone at this time. It might be appropriate for you to do that, or in privacy. So doing things on your own. So make sure you do spend time on your own, doing your own things. That will help to balance this energy out. You're also sorting out what fits, what doesn't. You may have to deal with any health issues or allergies that come up. A lifestyle change may be indicated right now. So there's a little bit of push and pull going on, but it really is pointing you in a direction which you must simply follow, and you have to do that by trust and by consulting your inner knowing. Then in the second house, we have Libra I balance. Second house is your house of your income, what's coming in for you. It's also your house of self-worth. And also your house of your values, so your value systems, what you value in yourself, what you value in others, what you value in your surroundings. It's also about possessions, what you value from an ownership point of view. So this can be any kind of ownership. It also goes into property, land, real estate, anything like that, any form of possession. So with Libra I balance coming in, this is very much a cooperation card. And balancing your needs with another, but it is indicated to link up with another at this time. It will be your best course of action right now. So however that's playing up with you, linking up with a partner or another person, and this is all about balancing both your needs, so your needs and their needs. So you can't just let go of your needs in favor of theirs. Yours must also be balanced with theirs. So it's about mutual support, and a beneficial interaction between you, and this will help you to move forward. So very much a mutual support, mutual understanding, mutual goals, and so on. There may also be a decision that you need to make at this time. You've been perhaps sitting on the fence, just not sure, weighing things up. But you will need to come to a decision, and best you do it. Otherwise, the universe will step in. So you may also be dealing with a legal matter of some kind, or something's come up, some kind of legal issue. Courts may be indicated at this time. But always this card is about fairness and the rules. So you have to observe that in all cases, whatever the outcome. Generally with a Libra card, it is a positive outcome. But as I said, some compromise and certainly a negotiation and mediation is required on your side. Communication is very important. So you may need to take other people's side into consideration in order to move forward. So contracts may be indicated here as well. But there's a general feeling of contentment in this house with this card. Certain you may be involved in activities or linking up with another, and enjoying certain activities around fashion, beauty, visiting art galleries or galleries of all kinds, museums, live music may be indicated. Always this card is about good taste and refinement. So it's the reaching for that, the reaching for good taste and refinement, enjoying beauty in your surroundings, enjoying beauty in yourself, in others, appreciation, contentment, love even as well. So all of those factors do come in with this card. Then in the third house we have Gemini, I think. So the Gemini card is all about the mental aspects and words, communication of all kinds. So this is very much indicated already in the third house, because Gemini rules the third house, and Mercury rules the third house. It is the communication house. The third house covers all aspects of communication. So this is written, verbal, body language, how you interact with others. This can be sort of personal interactions with people around you, anybody around you at this time. It can also be with a wider audience. So this is in a public forum, reaching a wider audience. It can also be with specific family members or people associated, like relatives. So this is siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, and it can even be neighbors as well. So this is interaction with these kinds of people, and also on a broader spectrum as well. So now with this card coming in, what it's indicating for you that communication is highly, highly important. Use your words, choose your words wisely, use your words wisely, whether it's written or verbal. You're going to need to be versatile at this time, quick thinking, pay attention to what is going on, use your humor, your wit. You're going to be required to be sharp, or you may be to the mental sharpness coming in. Friendships of all kinds are highlighted with this card, and other people associated with them, so you're probably going to be socializing quite a bit. But as I said, choose your words wisely. Also technology and electronics is indicated with this card, and this is going to be used to obviously communicate with others, but also to spread your ideas, spread your words, whatever it is that you're trying to get out there. And this is to a wider audience. So use the technology and the electronics to do that. highly indicated with this. Also multitasking and exchange of ideas, your expression, and also receiving information from others, or news, or even sort of interactions on a social scale. Just be aware of gossip and glibness and argumentativeness, or just coming across as a bit too fickle or chatty, or you may be interacting with people who are like that. Okay. Also writing books, blogs, publishing, editing, speech making, all of those aspects are indicated with this card, especially in the third house, which is all about that. You could be interacting in an important soulmate relationship at this time, probably a relationship, sort of a love relationship, but it could apply to another as well. This is an important person in your life, sort of life changing as well, and you're going to be doing a lot together, or you're going to be learning a lot from this person. You may also be taking short trips around and about in your local environment. These are going to need to be sort of interesting and stimulating activities. So no boring trips. This needs to be sort of quick, interesting, trips where your curiosity is aroused, and there's interaction with others and so on, exchange of ideas, chatting, talking, communicating in general. Then in the fourth house, we have Moon Soul. Fourth house is the house of home and family. So it's your home, your physical home, also the relationships in your home, atmosphere in your home, and it's also your relationship with your family roots, your foundation, your ancestry, your family tree, your ethnic identity, however it applies with you. So anything to do with your current family or your past family, so where you've come from and your ancestry and so on. So with Moon Soul coming in, this is essentially a nurturing card. So it could be that you're feeling very nurtured currently in your home situation, wherever you are currently residing, or where you are at the moment. You could be feeling nurtured. Culinary activities come in, so whether you're going for this yourself, enjoying that, cooking up a storm, or learning from others how to cook, or just enjoying applying culinary skills. Food and diet is very important, all forms of nurturing. You could also be having a lot of memories right now, memories of past times with family, or perhaps you're interacting with other family members and you're reminiscing about things. Just don't live there. Enjoy the reminiscing and the nostalgia, but always be moving forward and looking forward as well. You could be having deep feelings about things as well. This is deep emotion. Always follow your own wisdom in whatever comes up for you in this house. You're feeling very sensitive right now. Just make sure you build up resilience to ride the different cycles that go on in this house with the moon. Okay, so it's very much a moon card. It's in its own house, which is the fourth house. So this is very much about home and family, home and hearth, and all the interactions that go on around that, which is appropriate for this time of the year. So it's also about, as I said, building resilience. Because things do go down in family situations. Sometimes you have an altercation, or you have a disagreement, or you just don't feel like you don't fit in, or whatever the situation is. So build resilience. Know when it's time to retreat and spend me time on your own, just to rebalance yourself. Retreat, withdraw, go off into nature, or whatever is appropriate for you. Because there are cycles with this card. It follows the moon. Yeah. So you could also be interacting with mother or mother figures or maternal figures at this time. Women in general, how they get along, women's wisdom, women's issues may all be coming up for you. This card is also about your moods, your habits, or other people's moods and habits, and your family tree in the past and so on. But it also is a very creative sign. So this is where the culinary side comes into it, but also, creativity, just in general, how you use it, where you use it, and with who. Then in the fifth house, we have Sagittarius IC. So this is a lovely card of having your fifth house, because it's very much about fun and getting out, exploring, adventure. So it's very much about the outdoors, wide open, mountainous areas, lakes, and so on. So you could be visiting these places and just enjoying those, sort of interacting on that level. It's about freedom. You might have a lucky break of some kind, so enjoying freedom from your normal routine. So this is pretty much like a holiday. Fifth house is all about that, all about fun, pleasurable activities in all forms, getting out and about, enjoying activities that are going to be recreational for you. That could also be gambling or stock market or anything like that as well, any kind of risk taking. But it's general fun, pleasurable activities. This house is also the house of love affairs. It's also the house of creativity, so your creativity, or you're involved in creative activities. Or it's also about children, so you could be your children or interacting with children, other people's children at this time. So with Sagittarius, I see, as I said, it's a very much an expansive card. It's exploration, adventure, socializing, creative activities, having fun, being outdoors in the wide open mountainous and lake areas. You could be horse riding. You could be interacting with big animals of some kind, or big dogs even. So it's very much a sort of that kind of environment, something that you would do on a holiday or if you're going home. You could also, as I said, be feeling quite restless. Sagittarius can do that. It can promote restless activities where you just want to get out and go and explore and do things. So make sure you do that. Get out of your normal routine. This card is also about honesty and speaking your truth, which came up before in the first house, finding your truth. Just being strong in yourself, strong about your own views, your own way about yourself and how you interact with others. Sporting activities could also be coming in with this, because Sagittarius very much is involved with that, and also with these activities that some of them could be club activities or sporting activities that you're involved in. It's basically a very favorable time at this juncture. It could also be that you may just need to be careful of overspending or overindulging as well at this time. Then in the sixth house, we have South Node, life's debts. So the sixth house is your house of work, your workplace, your work colleagues, your work routines, mastery of your craft. It's also the house of health and diet and lifestyle, and also the house of pets. So with South Node, life's debts coming in, some change is coming for you in this arena. Some change, some things must be cast off and released to open you up to better things. So whether this is work-related or health-related, could be a lifestyle change, you're changing things up. Some things have to go in order to make room for the new things. And these are old things that you're letting go of. So it could also be sort of dealing with anything unfinished or unresolved at this time. It's a turning point. It really is. It could be dramatic, or it could be just a sudden shift and change, and the next minute you're off. You end one thing and you begin another. So that's what this card brings in. It's the letting go of the old and familiar falls away, and the new things come in. And this is very necessary with this, because this is about putting the past to bed and moving forward now onto your path into new things, to get you more in line with what you should be doing, and where you should be. So you're going to be out of your rut suddenly, okay, if that's applicable for you. Doors may close for you quite suddenly. You're also going to be wanting to very much get out and make new contacts. So this is very much a kind of breaking free, making new contacts, change of direction. If you're blocked, if your path is blocked and you're having a lot of difficulty, then that is an indication that a change of direction is due, okay? So think about that. You may have to just keep trying for what you want, though, because you may have some unsuccessful tries, or you have to just keep going and going until you strike it. You will also probably be meeting people from your soul tribe at this time who are going to help you or assist you in some way. And when it comes to health and diet with this card, sometimes addictions and depression can come in. So this is about letting go of the past and moving forward into the future, and sometimes that can bring about a shift. And that means you need to tackle those addictions and depression, or just don't, if you're living in the past, that will bring about depression. So let go of that and move forward now. In the seventh house, we have water element sensing. Seventh house is your house of relationships, close personal one-on-one relationships. It can also be business partnerships that you have at the time, or some other close personal relationship one-on-one. So with the water element sensing card, this is very much follow what you are sensing at this time. You will have accurate feedback. So follow what you sense, okay? It may not make logical sense, but to you it makes sense because you're following what your deep intuition is telling you, okay? So just avoid any dramas going on. If you need to retreat, then do so. very highly indicated at this time. Just retreat to rest and gather your resources. This is an in-between period. Take time out to be by yourself and just enjoy, even if it was with your partner, to spend time together in quietness, but also just you alone as well. Retreat, rest, gather your resources, because there will be forward movement later. So protect what is yours as well. Don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of at this time, because you may be coming across as compassionate and quiet and understanding, and you don't want somebody to step in and try and step all over you. So don't be a doormat, okay? So hold your boundaries at this time, even though you are in a quiet space or you're desiring a quiet space. You may be feeling shy or sensitive at this time as well. Privacy is important, so this is your own privacy or with you and your partner. Perhaps you're visiting family situations and you just need to reconnect periodically as a couple. That can also be important right now. So spend time together or alone to balance the situation and just to reconnect. Just flow around any obstacles that may be coming up for you at this time. Taking vacations at water bodies, so this is lakes, the sea, rivers, anything like that is going to be very, very good for you at this time. You're going to get a lot out of that, and that's where you rest and gather your resource, the energy of the water and so on. And spending time in outdoors near water bodies is going to be very helpful for you. This is also a time of imagination and enjoying artistic pursuits. So whatever it is, whether it's writing or painting or poetry or whatever it is that you do, this is a good time to tap into that and perhaps spend time alone out in nature, drawing or whatever it is you want to do. Just really get close to nature and enjoy resting and tapping into that imaginative ability. Then in the 8th house, we have Chiron healing. So this is the 8th house is the house of endings and beginnings. It's also the house of sexuality. It's also the house of the merging of material and emotional resources between love partners or business partners. It's also other people's resources and your handling of that. So that could be, you involved with others, family members, or perhaps as part of your business, handling other people's resources. It's also the house of financial things, big financial things like insurances, investments, accounting, banking, taxes, assets, and also, connected with family, like inheritances, legacies, things like that. And also it's also the house of regeneration, where something dies and then something new comes out of that. So something falls away and something new comes out of that. So it is also, as I said, an ending and a beginning. So it could be that with Chiron healing coming up, this usually indicates unresolved issues, healing or overcoming any form of dysfunction or illness or anything that just hasn't worked. Sometimes these things repeat until you deal with them. Or this could be something that's coming up for you now. But it's basically transforming what isn't working or what didn't work, transforming it into something that is going to work. So this is a strong transformational energy that comes in this house, which is the 8th house. It's all about that. And it's in this card as well. So it's a double paying attention to that. So transforming what isn't working and moving forward with what is working. But it's a form of a merging and a cooperation with this other person, whoever that is. As I said, it could be love or business, okay? So this could be old sorrows or old troubles that you've had from the past, which are reoccurring now, or they're coming up in a slightly different way. The only way to deal with that is actually to bring it into the light. You can't keep burying these things. You've got to bring them into the light. You've got to examine it, see what function it has had in your life, what purpose it had, and accept it, acknowledge its presence, and then release it. And then as soon as you do that, you've brought it fully into your consciousness. You've accepted that it's played a role in your life, and then you can release it and let it go, and it should not reoccur. So this is about breaking old patterns or repeating patterns. You may also be visiting health facilities for some reason, and something to do with that, or you could be going through some sort of regenerative or renewal period, and that requires the use of natural therapies or natural remedies because Chiron is very much about that, all things natural, spending time in nature, but also making use of what nature's bounty is, and all natural therapies. So that's homeopathy, chiropractic, naturopathy, or just natural remedies, herbs, things from the earth. So all of these things may help you with your regeneration and renewal or in some way in this house. Then in the ninth house, we have Grand Cross Provoker. Ninth house is the house of adventure, exploration. It's also the house of all things international, foreign. So whether this is a business for import, export, or whether you're learning and you're interacting with people who are foreign, or you're learning something which is, has a foreign concept or international concept. It's you meeting the world, or the world meeting you in some way. But it is also about your, further education and study. So this is a university level education. It's also adult education and the undertaking of that, and the learning, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and so on. It's also the deeper understanding when it comes to philosophy, religion, belief systems of all kinds. It's the search for meaning and purpose. It also covers the law and the higher courts. So there could be a legal issue which you're going through right now, or you could be wanting to study that in some way, or you're learning about it in some way. This card is also about relationship to in-laws. So you may have that coming up for you right now. It's also the house of teaching and publishing and sort of promotional work or public relations. So anything of that may be coming up for you. With Grand Cross Provoker, it is quite a stressful card. Basically, what it's asking you to do is that you're going to be using all your talents and abilities at this time. So you're going to be building your inner strength and stamina. And this is while you're going through sort of a fairly frustrating period, or there are frustrating circumstances, or you're being pulled in lots of different directions all at once. So it's about personal growth through endurance. And that's building your inner strength, building your stamina. It's also consolidation of your skills and your priorities at this time. So it's about timing. It's about juggling limitations and finding ways to do all of that. So narrowing down your priorities, managing your time around that. You need to use your energy wisely in this house right now. There's great potential to reach success once you gather momentum. And once you want, it's the process of getting yourself organized so that you can gain that momentum. And that means prioritizing certain things and building that inner strength and watching your timing, juggling, your limitations, but also your different talents and abilities at this time. Then in the 10th house, we have earth element stability. So the 10th house is everything to do with your career, your fame, your reputation, what you admire in others, so what you look up to in others. It's also authority figures. This could be an authority figure in your personal environment, or it could, like a father or some sort of relative, or it could even be somebody in the greater world that you look up to in some way. So it's also all forms of authority figures as well. So this can be the military and also law enforcement. So now your fame, your reputation, all of these things come in. Your public status comes in on this house as well. So with the earth element stability coming, what you're doing in this house is you're setting foundations for life now. So you're going to have to be proving yourself in some way. It's a very ambitious energy, getting organized, taking responsibility, and also being trustful of yourself and the environment and the process that you're going through. Because you need patience with this. It's a practical path. And you need to get yourself together, get organized. It's a very systematic, practical, methodical energy. You could be making very powerful connections at this time, meeting the right people. You could be going into business at this time, which is very appropriate with this card. It could also involve land or real estate or nature or growing food, growing your own food. It could even just be as simple as buying a plot of land in order to build a house, or to get away and to grow your own, be self-sustaining. But it's close to nature. This comes in with this card. It could also be that you may be having a mindset which is overly serious at this time, overly serious or heavy. stuck in old or outdated mindsets. So plodding, afraid to try new things, stubborn views. So just be aware of all of that in this house as well. In the 11th house, we have fire element desire. So this card is echoing the Aries I Am card, which is the bottom of the deck. So 11th house is your house of friendships. It's also the house of your personal hopes and wishes, your dreams, and your own particular hobbies and interests. It's also the house of networking and contacts, and being in group activities of all kinds. So this can be societies, associations, clubs, sort of even sporting, any kind of situation where you are in with others in a group endeavor. Could even be a group of companies. Okay, so with this card coming in, it feels like there's a desire. You know, you're going to be going after something. So this is possibly a change of direction or a fresh start after some sort of bold clearing of the decks. Okay, when I say bold, it's literally fiery clearing of the decks and a fresh start. So you're planting new things. It's a rapid reaction. It is a fast-moving card, this. It's about gathering your courage and your daring as well, getting started on something. So it could be a business that you want to start, or you've got an idea coming in which came in your 3rd house. There's something moving, there's something shifting, something wants to be born here, something wants to come into being, whatever it may be. It's also a very spontaneous card. You may be facing challenges around that, but it's also asking you to act assertively in some way. So this could be with a friendship or with somebody in a group that you're interacting with. You need to get upfront with someone as well. So there's honesty coming out there. You need to be honest and clear. And it could also be that there are ego issues going on, either in your friendships or in these group settings. As I say, you may need to get up front with somebody and be very clear and very honest. This card is also very much a creative card. Creativity comes up again and again in your chart. It's about passion and confidence and going after what you want. So this is like a fire has been lit. It may even be a massive change of direction, but it's a rapid turn or a rapid clearing of the decks to start something new with courage and daring. Then in the 12th house, we have Taurus I Have. So this is a growth card, which is very helpful for what it is that's going on in your chart right now, for this new thing you want to bring into being, or whatever it is you want to do, or change of direction or something like that. This is going to assist you with that because it's very much a growth card. Taurus I Have. So grow your garden of possibilities. The 12th house is the house of unconscious, your unconscious drives and motivations and hidden feelings, things that you are under the surface. It's also the house of retreat and withdrawal. This is where you go when you need to retreat, the 12th house. So it's also the house of tapping into that unconscious side, whether it's universal unconscious or your own unconscious, but it's tapping in. So the hidden realms, the universal realms, and so on. It's also about spiritual life, meditation, mysticism, healing of all kinds. It's the house of service to others. So maybe you may be in a helping profession, or you are in a service profession to help others or assist others in some way. It's also the house of escapism. So this is getting away from things as well, but it can also go the other way, which leads to addictions. This house of resolutions as well and endings. It's also the house of karmic lessons that may come in, and it's also the house of meeting twin flames, if that's appropriate for you. So it can also be into what you learn when you visit institutions of all kinds. So this can be universities, libraries, hospitals, museums, any kind of institution, government as well, and even prisons, whatever is applicable. It's what you learn while you're there. So with this grow your garden of possibilities, this is like planting seeds, but it's also about you taking on a very practical and reliable role. So you want to be seen as that, practical, reliable, steadfast, steady. You also may be wanting to nurture or enjoy nurturing at this time, because this is very much about that. This is about home comforts, luxuries, relaxation, all sorts of pleasurable activities. And that can be love activities as well, pleasurable activities, lots of luxury, home comforts, nurturing, good food, all of those things. Sensuality. It's also connecting to the world of elementals, fairies, and so on. So it's higher consciousness as well. It's also very much about practical things like money matters, material desires. And you can also go the other way, which is being overly materialistic or fixated on money as well. So you need to balance that. So money matters, the accumulation thereof, material desires, but it's very much about nature, spending time in nature, gathering what you can from nature. It's also very much an appreciation of beauty, the arts, and everything to do with that, and harnessing your talents and abilities in those areas as well. So bringing these things up from your unconscious, really enjoying them and spending time perhaps on your own to enjoy that and relish those activities, and just enjoy reflection and a full appreciation of all of that. Okay, Virgo, hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful month. Enjoy. Don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe, so that other people will get access to they'll see the videos. And have a great month, and I will see you next time. Take care.